Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Best Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Yes, you heard it right, Best Map, the new name for What's Map, while we test out Google Analytics and see whether we get 1 million new subscribers because of the change of name. Also a change of format for the self-same reasons. If things don't work out, we will of course be switching back, so don't worry about that. Right, it's Tuesday, a Tuesday's request day. Today's map was requested by the creator over 6 months ago. I am so sorry, I messed up, it was bad filing, and there's another one on Tuesday next week as well, just like it. Now, today's creator we have done once in the past, back in episode 387, where they got 7 stars. I will promise you this, today's map is way better than 7 stars, for which I think you should show some kind of approval. That's right, clicking that like button really does show your approval, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you very much for that support. Today's map is Pippin Fort by Storm Grey. Pippin Fort, a little nod to the 1970s children's TV show in the UK, Trumpton and also Camberwick Green. There's your start square. Again, lots of buildable space. I do like the shape of the water on today's map. I've got to say that. Look at the shape of the water. Very nice. There's your terrain heights around the water as well. And then we have resources. Is that an elephant? Is the ore an elephant? I'm not so sure. It looks a bit like an elephant. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it looks just like that. Okay, we've got everything there actually. Off to the workshop, what do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. Also says it's a park life map. I'll take your word for it. I can't remember seeing anything park lifey, but there may well be. We'll be using the England theme. First time on the show for the England theme. And the realistic 1.2 LUTs. There's also a bunch of rocks and bits and bobs to subscribe to. Okay, let's do the flyover first of all, shall we? Shall we do the shipping? Well, we can't do the shipping, but we will have a look at the air route because there is no shipping, not on today's map, but we do have this air route that cuts across and then swings off to the right like this. A very smooth line. I can buy into this one as well. Should work pretty much for an airport anywhere on your map without any problems at all. But yeah, no shipping on today's map because basically the rivers aren't really wide enough to worry about it. But what about water flow? We have got good strong water flow going through the start square. It's not the widest and the deepest, but it's more than adequate for building a city where you are using pumping and draining, which is something that I know a lot of you do like to do. It's the original strategy with the game, although other alternatives are now available both in vanilla and of course with workshop items. But you can see here we've got a moderately wide, a moderately deep and a moderately well flowing river. So you shouldn't have too many worries. Right, let's have a go down at the highway, shall we? Now, the map is bright. It's green. Green and pleasant land. Ah, yes. England. Do love my green and pleasant land. The one thing I'm not so keen on with the texture here is the texture of the grass. You'll see when we get down to the asset review a bit later on that the grass, while it does look great, of course, it's just a little bit on the huge side when you get down there. It's one of these things that it looks great until you scale it against buildings. Also, got a bit of a wibbly wobbly road going up here to this bridge here, just on the right hand side. Left hand side's perfectly straight, but it's not horrendous by any stretch of the imagination. And a perfect looking bridge there. That'll do the job there, I feel. Perfectly aligned. Got no grumbles really with that one. It doesn't have the finesse, but there's nothing that we can mark it down on either. Then we should come across here. We've got this intersection here. The flyover on that is a little bit higher than it really needs to be. But again, is there anything strictly wrong with it? And the answer is, well, not really. So that's fine. We've even got a little bit of lane mathematics coming off of here. 4 lanes into 3, 3 lanes into 4, that kind of thing. And in this intersection, we've got our take on the diverging diamond intersection as well. It's not strictly the diverging diamond, but it's doing the same kind of job. And you know what? I'm very glad to see it. I'm very glad to see it. It's one of the most efficient intersections. If you don't know anything about diverging diamonds, do a little Google on it and have a look. At first glance, it's counterintuitive and seems to be, well, just a bizarre thing altogether. But honestly, works well. You can see the grass texture there. Looks great, doesn't it? Yeah. If this was life-size grass, that would be great. But of course, we're running little Playmobil cars through it, and yes, that when you compare the cars and the buildings down to the grass texture, it just looks a bit silly. But it's easy to change a theme for another one, and it's not the worst theme. It's not the worst theme. It's just a little bit loud with the grass. Anyway, there's a potential start location. It's not actually the start square, but again, I like the intersection here. Again, it's very cleanly done, and that's all we can really ask. Remember, this creator last time around only got 7 stars, and that's a low score. That's a low score. You're a couple short of the pass mark with that. So this is a vast improvement on that, and I'll say I do feel that the creator has come on leaps and bounds. Down to the start square intersection here, and this is again a take on the diverging I forgot which one we were at. Yes, a take on the diverging diamond again. I don't have any huge issues with this at all. It's okay. It's a little bit of fun, and it's something you might want to do some upgrading with, possibly with Traffic Manager, to get it working just like a diverging diamond. That's what your start square looks like, but we're not going to look at that now. Oh no, a little bit of raw editing there because of the new format. I haven't quite got into the routine of doing it properly yet. So yes, pretend that was just a slick transition, shall we? Yeah, thank you very much. Little bridge there, don't have any problems with that. A lot of lanes going across that bridge, but there'd probably be a lot of traffic on this map. By their own admission, I think they'd say that they'd expect this to be quite a traffic-heavy map. But it's a traffic-heavy map that I think will actually handle the weight of traffic you throw at it. And some really quite nice intersections. Aesthetically pleasing intersections. Again, that will handle quite a lot of the traffic that you chuck at it. Which is all good. Another sweeping intersection here. A little bit of foliage in the middle of the median there, which is an interesting thing. A little crossover of the bridge here, and heading off towards the horizon, so we can prepare ourselves for some rail. I can catch my breath for a moment, because so far there's been a lot to look at, and not that much too bad with it. Remember, we never expected. We did have that really good map last week, Titi Lopopo. That it's going to take some beating, that one, and everything that pretty much anybody builds and puts alongside that is going to look second or third rate. Anything I make, anything you make, anything that this creator Storm Grey makes. But when you look at this in isolation away from maps like that, it's pretty strong. And I'm liking this as well. This looks like it was a deliberate gouge in the land. The way that the rail has handled it, it looks like it was a planned thing, and all credit for that. And again, some slick transitions, road over rail and rail over rivers. Some very slick, clean transitions there. This is not a bad rail route, Not a bad one at all. And I do like giving credit when I can find it. Heading across the start square-ish. Oh no, we're not in the start square, but it's start square-ish zone, middle of the map sort of zone. This junction, long and wide, as the sirens approach, if you hear them in the background in a few moments. Not sure what's going on here. Why have we got that there? But that's not the worst. This is the worst. This is actually a live line with a bit missing. Is there something we're supposed to subscribe to that we don't have? I do not know. Anyway, this heads off to a tunnel, and the tunnel's a bit clunky as well, with a bit of a hole behind the tunnel entrance as well. So that's just a little bit clunky there. That can be very easily cleaned up with just a couple of strokes of the terrain tool. So no problem. No problems really from me with that. And I'm quite liking a lot of the rail. We've got a little bit of glitching here that could be cleaned up with just a tap of the smoothing tool. And heading now across the river and out into the edge of the map. So yeah, it's the networking. The networks will handle quite a lot, whatever you throw at them. A little bit of broken rail, but you will get rail to the start square because it's there's rail coming from other directions as well, isn't there? So I'm not showing you everything. I'm not showing you every highway. I'm not showing you every intersection. I'm not showing you every junction. Not showing you every bit of rail line because we haven't got all day now, have we? But we have got more coming up after the intermission.
Are you fed up with random vanilla buildings spawning in random locations? Do you want a specific type of building in a particular zone? Then you need the beginner's guide to theme management. Click the information button below.
And so back to Pippin Fort by Storm Grey, and this is your start square. And it's pretty flat. We can see we've got a little bit of a gentle hill going on there, gentle slope. But it's not going to be too difficult to build on. Definitely a beginner's build. We do like those. We do like space it can build into without worrying about hills. Now we do have hills on the map, and one of them over here has a gouge out of it. This is clearly a quarry. And you know what? I like it. It's got a good shape. A very nice shape to that one. Yeah, so often we see the same shapes over and over again. Even got a little pool in it down there. I'm liking that. That's one of my... Okay, there's no detailing around it, but it's one of my favourite quarries. We also don't see canals used very often. And so to see one being used, and not just that, to have it doubled up with everybody's favourite factory plopped right beside it. I mean, that's a great place to have a factory right alongside the canal. Really liking that idea as well. Let's see what more we've got going. There's plenty more things going on with this map. We'll try and pick up on a few of them while we can. Down here you will notice that the canal doesn't actually connect up with the water network. I wish it did. I so wish it did. Doing so well, and then that happens. And then over here we have got Pippin Fort, as in the name of the map. And so yeah, as castles go, this is quite a good one. But yes, Pippin Fort was the fictional fort from it was a children's TV. Was it like a stop motion animation for preschoolers? I remember watching it myself. Loved a little bit of Trumpton, and Trumpton was the town and Camberwick Green was the little village. Two separate shows. And there was a fort, Pippin Fort, and yes, the soldiers, they were a good bunch. Good bunch, yes sir. So yeah, I quite that as a castle. Ooh, it's a castle. I like that. Okay. What we got down here now? This I'm a bit confused by. We've got some rock work going on. Unusual. It's only in this location. We've also got what looks like a bit of a dam going on across here. Now, is that by plan? Well, let's see what leads up to that. And the answer is like a dead end. So I don't know. I think that's just something pretty weird to me. I don't get it. I'm not going to mark down the map on it because I don't understand it. It still looks quite good, but I just think it could work better in a different scenario. We've got the Park Life rock over here, the cave, with all the drowned trees around it because the trees are part of the rock, and that's just a little bit... Yeah, I wouldn't have put that in the middle of the river, only because of the trees. If they didn't have the trees on it, I would have considered that. Then this little water feature over here just looks like it's been gouged out with the tool. I like the shape of it. I'd like to see a little bit of finishing done to it to make it look a little less gouged. But the shape overall, I'm buying into completely, as in the shape of the rivers. The shape of the rivers is pretty fine as well. What more have we got going on? There's a lot more things. Oh, I wanted to show you like this fantasy water. It is more a fantasy map because of this water system going up into the mountains. Again, it looks a little bit gouged, and there's one or two slightly shark's teeth rocks up here. But all told, I actually like the shape of this. Again, just needs a little bit of finesse, cleaning up here and there, and I think this would stand out as an exceptional, liking this laking here. We've even got a little waterfall right on the edge, deep in the fog here. Can't quite make it out with the theme that we've got going. Different theme would show a really lovely crystal clear blue waterfall going on there. But I quite like the shape of this. Just needs a little bit more experience, a little bit of finishing touches just to clean it up and make it pop. Now, why something else? Oh yeah, over here, down there, just off of the start square, we've got a little patch of sand. I do not know why. This is actually sand. I've tested it, and I don't know why it's there, but we've got a little splash of sand there anyway. And then if we come over here, we've got some of these. I don't know if I like or dislike these pop marks in the hill. Normally, I think they just look a little bit unfinished, but I think they could work. And then we've also got a prehistoric ant-man on the side of the hill, marked out in rocks, which I think's quite a neat little thing there as well. Oh, cool. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe that's a self-portrait of Storm Grey. Meanwhile, before we get to the end of the show, we'll have a look at the asset of the day. And this is the Mediterranean Store Pack by High Explosive Serenade. Now, the store pack is actually just the stores at the bottom. And the buildings are from another pack called the Mediterranean Residential Pack. It's linked in the Mediterranean Store Pack anyway. You'll want both of them to make it look just pucker. Look at this. Ah, loving this. Loving it. Yeah, great combination, these two. High Explosive Serenade, you have really surpassed yourself. And factoids while we're here, because factoids. St. Nicholas, the original Father Christmas, is patron saint of thieves, virgins, and communist Russia. Why not? Ho 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 to you too, sir. Anyway, yes, the Mediterranean Store Pack by High Explosive Serenade takes us very, very neatly towards the voting segment of today's show. But yeah, I would head over to the workshop and grab these if I were you, because I'm absolutely in love with these. He looks so good, so Mediterranean. Great work there by High Explosives. But now if we settle down and find ourselves a nice little thumbnail spot and a screenshotable shot, I'll ask you what you think of today's map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We'll use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. You might want to try clicking with the middle mouse button, a little trick that's been taught to me just lately. Okay, what do I think of today's map? I think it's quite striking. I like the design of it. I like the shape of the water and all that sort of thing. I'm finding that it's not quite finished. I mean, it is, but it's not quite it can be taken to the next level. It's for me, it's just shy of being a 4-star map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it down as a very high 3 stars. Detailing on the whole is pretty good. It doesn't quite feel like a 4-star map though. Again, it's good quality, but not exceptional. And I'm gonna slightly lower than the score for aesthetics, but 3 stars, a high 3, but slightly lower than the aesthetics. Gameplay potential. Oh, I think this is good, you know. I think this is very good. Apart from the cleaning up as you're going along, I think this is... do you know what? I'm going to go really high 4 stars for this one. Very close to a 5th. Apart from all the cleaning up. Pippin Fort by Storm Grey. That is a clean, crisp, and a vast improvement map on the previous effort, which honestly I didn't like your previous map, but that one I do, and it's very close to 4 stars across the board. So well done to you. Very nice work, and sorry to keep you waiting with that one. That was completely my bad. And I say, I've got another one exactly the same next week who requested in the very same week, so there we go. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. Use the word of the day into the comments to score yourself some population points just for fun in our secret society.